what? How are you doing today? Good to be here. Good to see you. Good to feel you out there. Okay. So before I get into my little analogy, my discussion, just real quick, I wanted to share a funny story that happened this morning. So we had a delivery, and it's one of those things like you're not sure, do I tip the delivery person because they charged a delivery fee for a piece of furniture, and you just aren't sure, right? So I don't know what's happening. So if you saw my post from last weekend, I was at an electronic concert in Asheville. I was the door person taking the money, uh, kind of half bouncer. As in I was bouncing around, not as in like throwing people out. And I had to have a bunch of singles to give change. So I had gotten $100 in change in dollars because the cover charge was $6. And to help my buddy out, I went to the bank, got $100 in ones. And so I had some extra ones, right? I didn't have any large bills today. So I get a whole stack of ones, and these guys, it was already, I think it was about 80 degrees this morning already. They load this furniture in the house, and I said, "Hey, can you take tips?" And he's like, "Yeah, that'd be great." And so I hand him a whole stack of money like this. A whole stack of ones, and this looks shady McGrady, right? So I tell him, look, I worked at a concert this weekend. That was the door change, and then so I said you can get a lunch, you can keep it, you can there's a there's a strip club here called the Fuzzy Holes. And he was not ready for me to say that. So I was like, yeah, why don't you help yourself? Get some lunch, fuzzy holes, whatever you're doing out there. Oh my gosh, too funny. He was not ready for that and he scream laughed at that comment. He was not ready. So, I mean, when you come into Jenny McKinney house, you gotta be ready. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully that made him laugh all day. And I hope he got some lunch. And I gave him some water. So, that was good. Little bottles of water. Which, super side note, like when you get a bottle of water, I know bottled water is a waste of money, but at the same time, like, have you found that if you're kinesthetic, right? So you like the feel of something? I found these bottles of water that are super soft. I know it's crazy. I found them on sale, so I had to get some. They're called Misty Mountain, just in case I'm not advertising for them or anything, but I'm just saying that's the soft water bottle that I was talking about. Okay, so today let's taco. Hey Paige, buddy, how are you? So let's talk about this. I've wanted to share this situation because I don't know, it's really just been on my mind for about the past 2 weeks. And so I was just trying to figure out how to say it in one of those things like you just have to throw it out there because it's going to resonate with somebody and someone needs to hear it. So here it is. So this has happened 2 times in my life with two very close friends where I have been a shoulder to lean on, an ear to listen to, a heart to feel in their hurt and sadness, right? So, have you found yourself in this position with a friend, family member, maybe somebody in your circle, or maybe you have a square? I don't know. I'm not trying to judge whatever your friendship area is. Maybe you have a diamond, I don't know. And so maybe you have felt this before. So what I have found is that when somebody has come to me and it turns into a complaint session, right? Which is fine because I'm going to be there to listen to my friend. But your friend, every time they come to you, it's literally like getting sick all over you. They word vomit, they're sharing their frustration. Let's say it's marriage issues. So, in both situations, I've had two different very close friends come to me and express upset in their marriage. And when you see that your friend is hurt, of course, you want your friend to be happy. And there's got to be a point where the person you love so much, which is your friend, is being hurt by this other person. Of course, you're getting one side of the story. And so you want them to be comfortable. You want them to live their best life. You want them to be happy. You got married because you thought this was the love of your life and you're going to be happy forever together. So what I found is that every time we were getting together with this friend, she would tell me how terrible things were going, how things were not what she thought they were going to be, how the marriage was not working out how she thought. It was totally different than dating. It's like the minute that they got married, the person totally changed and things were just on a downward slope. Then what happens is now I take all this, right? Like I'm absorbing it at the time because I had my own. I didn't have marriage issues. I just had the I'm a people pleaser and I need to fix it. And I want to. I'm a rescuer. That's really where I was at. I was a rescuer. I need to fix it for you. And my life advice was for her to leave him. She wanted a baby, he didn't. There was other situations like he didn't want to do anything with her. And it was strange, like I was missing part of the story is how I felt, but I only could give her advice from my side of the story. And so what I would do is share my opinion, let her know I think you should leave. And then what happens is, because even though we work together, all of a sudden she cuts me off. She didn't cut him off because things started to get a little bit better. But now I know all this bad stuff, all of this victimization, all of this hurt and animosity. And I know all of this. And she breaks up with me without even telling me. And this has happened 2 times in my life. Yes. Hi, Jessica. I love you. And I was devastated, right? Like I've been this shoulder for you to cry on, and now you have literally just crapped all over me. Like you broke up with me, didn't even tell me. You just stopped talking to me because now you've gone back to this person, and I know all this terrible, like your deepest, darkest secrets, hurts, things that have happened that you just don't share with other people. And so now I'm left with this grief, confusion. I don't even know what happened, right? Of course, being back then, I'm a rescuer and I needed to fix it. And now I'm left in this spinning vortex of how do I fix this for me? What do I do for myself now? And you have to realize that when people come to you and they literally are emotionally vomiting or spiritual vomiting or however they're vomiting on you, whatever they're giving to you for information, that's their decision, right? You didn't say, hey, lay it all out here. Let me take it all on. Let me get my bib. And you just spew all over, right? Like, no, that's not what we ask for. What we say as a friend is, I'm here if you need anything. Let me know what you're going through. So as they share that and we take it on, what happens is now we are a reflection of that. I would never in my life throw that back at her. But being a rescuer, she knows I want to fix her and I want to fix her marriage. And so in this like energetic mirror, I get ostracized because she keeps seeing this terrible relationship in this energetic mirror that she has shared with me. Does that make sense to you? Have you had this happen? This has happened twice in my life where two married people have shared this. And yes, Lisa, good to see you, buddy. Yes, I know. And it's so frustrating because you're just being a great friend, and this person comes to you and they're the one oversharing. It's not even an overshare. It feels like an overshare when you look back at it. It's just a sharing, right? And so what I have found as I work, I've worked on my own healing. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not a rescuer anymore. I just observe, right? And so now what happens is when people share that information with me is that I don't energetically mirror anything back to them. I just give them a free space, loving, open, sacred space for you to be who you are, your true self, and whatever you have to say. And so I just want to bring this up today because, like I said, it's been on my heart and my mind for about 2 weeks now. So somebody needs to hear it that may be struggling in a friendship, relationship, whatever ship, full of ship is going on. And if you're grieving, it's such a terrible thing to lose a friend in in a way that you had no idea that was even going to happen that way, right? I had been at that friend's wedding. I had been we had worked together. We were involved in each other's lives, kids' lives, families, vacations, and then all of a sudden we just break up. Had no idea. I didn't even get a notice. I didn't get a sympathy card of hey, sorry about your loss of our friendship. I mean, that would have been nice. I would have. She knew my address. You know what I mean? And so it's a total breakup. It's no contact. It's no nothing. Everything has left, and all you did were you were just being a good, great human and friend. And so, if you are dealing with that as grief, it literally is where your heart has been ripped out because you shared that connection. And also, it can put you into a depression because now you know all of this stuff about this person. And now, let's say the person I'm referring to isn't on social media, but let's say this has happened to you and they're putting on a whole social media facade over there, right? Like they're just living their best life, but really the struggles that are behind the scenes. And so that's why I think if the biggest lesson is let's all just live our authentic, like sacred safe space selves, and we don't have to put on a face, put on a show, put on anything. I think that's just people aren't ready to heal. They aren't ready for people to know the real thing. They could be victimized. They have their own stuff. The main message here is that the situation and the result has nothing to do with you. Nothing. All you did was be a great friend and human, and it had nothing to do with you, which is super sucky because you were the one being the friend to that person, right? You both get into this friendship. You're like, hey, let's hug. Let's be friends. We're friends. We're family. We're whatever. And then you're the one that gets crapped on. And so, what you have to do is find that awareness, take the lesson from that, and then really just move on. And I was even thinking about this today. I want to ask you, I don't, looking back, if you were to create boundaries around that situation because you're being a good friend, would you stop the person from oversharing or sharing information, or would you just let them keep going? And that's something that I reflected on about both of those situations because I don't know. I don't know if I felt like if I had identified a boundary, if it would have changed things. I feel like every time she saw me after that, all she would remember is everything that she's vomited on me. And so she just sees all the vomit that I'm bringing to the table, even though I've changed, right? I've showered it off. I've let it go. And so it's super sucky when it happens because now you're just left standing there, you know, really with your tail between your legs because you were just doing the right thing. And so, if that is something that you have experienced or dealt with, then it is normal. It's normal to experience grief, upset. Um, I was really in a tailspin because being a rescuer at that time, I couldn't fix it, and I didn't fix it, and then I'm the one that gets hurt in it. She's living her best life now. I guess they've been married for a long time and they have a kid and it's going great. So that's I mean, you only want the best for them. So let them know also they might just be your friend for a time, a reason or a season, right? And that's okay. So you have to take the time that you had together and then create that space for new people who will respect your boundaries or respect your friendship or who wouldn't do that to you and then break up with you at the end. So I just wanted to share that with you today. I know that you're amazing. I know that you're an awesome, awesome human, and we're all just doing the best we can. Even when it only looks like it's this much, even to you or anyone else, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what it looks like. Everyone's perception is totally different, and just keep doing you. Okay. So I love you, and I will be back again later. So, yes, good to see you. Put some good juju out there for you, and keep being the best you, your authentic self. Okay, see you later. Bye.